Today's event here at the QE2 Conference Centre in Westminster is about soft power and how governments can use it to enhance their influence in the world and generally to improve their economies. Soft power is important in today's world because hard power and strong economic power, which has been exercised by the big countries for many years, is inaccessible to medium-sized and smaller countries. Whereas if they try and adopt soft power strategies, they're much more likely to enhance their performance in the world, and in particular their economic performance. An obvious example of a country that uses its soft power well is Ireland. Ireland has a huge diaspora, it's a very friendly place, and it's great on a whole range of different dimensions, culture, communications and so on. And everybody knows Ireland and everybody loves Ireland, and that's very powerful for its role in the world, in bodies like the UN, but also within the EU and to support its economic activities. The results in our soft power index that were particularly interesting to me were the performance of China and Russia. Conventionally, people believe they have no soft power because usually soft power is researched amongst Western countries where obviously there's a bias against Russia and China. Whereas we have done the research in a much broader range of countries, many of them in developing countries and developing parts of the world. And in those places, China and Russia are really very much appreciated and have very strong soft power. It's important for countries to adopt the same techniques that companies do, because the reason that companies use those techniques is to efficiently increase their turnover and profits. And the equivalent of that is to efficiently increase GDP and the success of the economy of the nation. So it's all about asset allocation. If you do research and you understand which target markets, so geographically, which sectors, and how to target markets, you're much, much more likely to be successful. Brand finance started looking at nation branding 15 years ago, and we've been producing a study every year since. We get a large amount of data from places like the IMF and the World Economic Forum. We do a benchmarking and we put a ranking on the countries, the top 100 countries in the world. But for some time we have been slightly unhappy with the quality of the consumer research that we're doing. So this year we have invested heavily in doing primary research in 100 countries amongst 55,000 respondents, so that we get a very good steer from those 100 countries of their perceptions of the 60 identified countries that we are looking at. It's our intention in the long run that we will extend it to 100 or possibly even more, but at the moment the first wave is of 60 countries. The level of interest in this subject, the number of countries who now realise that this is a way that they can improve their standing in the world and their economic performance, suddenly it is now a very trendy subject, and that is demonstrated by the 500 people who attended today.